You know, right before we started recording this deep dive, I was just looking out the window.
Oh, yeah. We say anything interesting?
Well, it's funny, you can look at the exact same tree every single day for months, maybe even years, and not really see it. It just sort of becomes background noise, you know?
Right, it just blends in.
Yeah. But today the wind picked up and I watched this one single leaf it let go. And it didn't just drop like a stone, it spiraled. It really took its time.
That's a very striking image.
It was, and honestly, it made me think about our mission for today. We're taking a deep dive into this idea of presence, of surrender. Because watching that leaf, I realized how much energy I spend every day trying not to fall, trying to just hold everything together.
We do tend to project a lot of our own anxiety onto that very simple process. The way a leaf navigates that descent. We look at gravity, we look at the end of the branch, and we immediately think,
Tragedy.
exactly, we think it's a failure.
Right, because it feels like a loss. I mean, the tree is losing something, the leaf is losing its place in the sun. It's really hard not to see it as a defeat.
But if you watch closely, just like you did, you start to realize the leaf isn't falling because it's weak. It's falling because it is finished being what it was meant to be.
Finished being what it was meant to be.
Yes, there is a kind of silent elegance to it. It is not resigning from life, it's trusting the air. It's trusting the ground. And that is a very different thing from giving up.
I mean, trusting the ground, that is a beautiful image, truly. But I kind of have to be the skeptic here for a second.
Please do.
A leaf doesn't have a mortgage.
No, it doesn't.
A leaf doesn't have a reputation to maintain or, kids to feed. For us, hitting the ground usually implies a crash, getting fired, or relationship ending, a public failure. How on earth do we trust that?
That is the crucial distinction right there. We think hitting the ground means destruction. But in this context, the ground is reality. It is the undeniable fact of where you are right now.
So accepting the reality of the crash.
Sort of. Anxiety is the act of hovering. You're trying to be where you were or where you want to be. Trusting the ground simply means you stop fighting the fact that you are here in this situation right now. You cannot navigate the crash if you are still pretending you are flying.
Wow, okay, so it's about stopping the denial. Because I feel like we spend our entire lives bracing for impact.
We do.
We live in this constant state of anticipation. Even in the middle of summer, in the back of my mind, I'm already worrying about winter. I'm worrying about the other shoe dropping.
We brace for winter while the sun is still warm on our skin. We are rarely ever just, autumnal. We don't allow ourselves the grace of the transition.
We want the eternal summer. We want the graph to always go up and to the right.
And that is exactly where the suffering creeps in. Because the leaf teaches us the first great paradox of this kind of wisdom.
Which is?
To truly be here, you have to be willing to disappear.
Okay, let's unpack that. To be here, you must be willing to disappear. It sounds like the complete opposite of everything we were taught.
How so?
Well, in a hyper-connected world, we're taught to make a mark, to be visible, to build a personal brand that outlasts us.
Think of a dewdrop. Imagine it clinging to a spider web at dawn. It's perfectly round, it's catching the light, reflecting the entire world like a tiny self-contained universe.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
And then the sun rises and it's gone, evaporated. Now, did that dewdrop fail?
No, I guess not. It was a dewdrop. It did its job.
Precisely. It didn't fail because it vanished. It succeeded because it shone completely in the moment it had. We are all dewdrops in that sense. Seasons pass through us just as much as we pass through them.
But it still hurts when things fade.
Because we view fading as a flaw in the design. We think the gold and crimson leaves are decorations, but the trees know they are signals. They don't apologize for shedding. They call it clarity.
Clarity. Usually when things fall apart, like if I lose a client or a friendship fades, I feel chaos. Not clarity, I feel panic.
That is because we are holding onto the branch when the wind is saying to let go. There is a concept in Japanese aesthetics, though we don't need to get bogged down in the terminology. It roughly translates to the gentle sadness of things passing.
The gentle sadness of things passing. I like that.
It isn't a depressing sadness, though. It is a tenderness. It's the ache of loving something so fully that you can actually feel its fragility in your bones.
Oh, it's like when you're having a perfect evening with friends and you get that little pang in your chest because you know the night has to end. You're already mourning the moment while you're still in it.
Yes, and the question is, what do you do with that pang?
I usually check my watch.
Right. You check your watch, you start worrying about the drive home, or you try to force the conversation to keep going past its natural end. But what if you lean into it? Consider a cup of tea. When you pour it, it's hot, alive with steam.
And then I usually get distracted, it gets cold, and I get annoyed and go microwave it.
You microwave your tea.
I do. I hate when it gets cold. It feels like I missed the window to enjoy it.
Most of us do something similar. We curse the cooling. But the tea isn't ruined when it cools. It is simply becoming something else. It is shifting from heat to warmth, and from warmth to coolness.
It's not what I wanted.
If you are paying attention, truly paying attention, the cool sip at the bottom holds a different kind of wisdom. The wisdom of completion.
But isn't that just settling? I mean, isn't microwaving the tea just fixing the problem? Why should I settle for cold tea when I have the technology to make it hot again?
Because you are addicted to the peak experience.
Addicted to the peak. Yeah, okay.
We all are. We want the relationship to always be in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
We want the career to always be in high growth mode. We want the tea steaming. But life isn't a sustained peak. It is a cycle.
So when I microwave the tea,
You are trying to freeze time. You are refusing to let the moment evolve.
that hits home. The refusal to let the moment evolve.
Autumn doesn't end summer. It transforms it. And this isn't just about leaves or tea. It's about us. This impermanence is happening inside you right now, the breath you just took.
It's gone.
And the you who took that breath, that version of you is gone too. Your sense of self is a season. It shifts with every conversation, every loss, every quiet morning.
And we're terrified of that fluidity.
We are. We want to be statues, stone monuments. But statues don't feel. They don't taste the tea. If everything changes, nothing is truly lost. Grief in this light becomes a form of gratitude.
I want to believe that. I really do. But, well, it's hard to find that Zen mindset when the sink is full of dishes, my email is constantly pinging, and I'm running late for a meeting.
It feels impractical.
Exactly. It feels like this wisdom is reserved for people living on mountaintops, not people with deadlines and debt.
But that is the great misconception. We think presence requires a monastery. We think we need silence to find silence. But the Zen tradition is actually very rude about this.
Rude. How so?
It refuses to let you escape your life. There is this famous story about Master Zhaozu. A student comes to him, desperate for enlightenment, for the great secret of the universe. He asks, what is the meaning of the teaching?
And what does the master say?
Zhaozu asks him, have you eaten your rice porridge?
Okay, kind of a mundane start.
And the student says, yes, I have.
Hmm.
And Zhaozu replies, then go wash your bowl.
Go wash your bowl, that's it.
That is it.
I'll be honest, if I trekked up a mountain to find a guru and he told me to go do the dishes, I'd be pretty ticked off. I can do dishes at home.
And you would be right to be ticked off. It is insulting to the ego. The ego wants a golden scroll. It wants a complex philosophy. But Zhaozu is doing something very specific here. He is popping the balloon.
Popping the balloon of what?
Of abstraction. You see, you aren't actually living when you're thinking about the secrets of the universe. You are just thinking. But when the cold water hits your hands,
That's real.
that is the only thing that is real in that moment. He isn't telling you to do chores. He's telling you to exit your head and into your life.
But how does washing a bowl help with the stress? I mean, I'm still standing there washing the bowl, but my head is still screaming about the email I need to send.
It helps because usually you aren't washing the cup. You are washing your anxiety. You are washing your projections.
Yeah.
To wash the bowl, as Zhaozu meant it, is to dissolve the boundary between you and the bowl.
Dissolve the boundary.
Yes, to feel the warmth of the soapy water, the curve of the ceramic, the squeak of the clean rim. When you do that, when you bring your entire being to one simple act, you step out of time.
It sounds like an antidote to multitasking. We treat moments like currency, right? We're always spending this moment to buy the next one. Like, I'll get through these dishes so I can relax.
Yes, we treat the present as an obstacle to the future. We treat the dirty dish as an enemy. But the Zen view is to do one thing at a time, is to touch eternity.
Touch eternity. That's a big promise for washing a mug.
It is the only place eternity lives. Not in the future, here.
But why is it so hard? Intellectually, I get it. Be here now, it's on a million bumper stickers. But physically, my brain resists.
How does it feel when it resists?
It feels like if I let go of the worry, everything will just fall apart. Like my anxiety is the glue holding the universe together.
That is a profound observation. We believe our worry is functional. We think if I stop stressing about the project will fail. But there is a difference between planning and worrying.
What's the difference?
Planning is a creative act done in the present. Worrying is a repetitive loop about a future that hasn't happened. There is a psychological concept called the Zeigarnik effect.
Where our brains hold on to unfinished tasks, right?
Yes. It creates tension. We seek closure.
The open loop, it drives me crazy.
Zen offers a radical form of closure. It says the washing of the bowl is the closure. The taking of the breath is the completion. You don't have to wait for the project to end to feel complete. You can feel complete right in the middle of the chaos.
Complete in the middle of the chaos. That's the target.
Shall we try something? A very small experiment to test this.
I'm game. What do we do?
It involves nothing but one breath. But for everyone listening to this deep dive right now, you have to really do it, not just think about doing it.
Okay.
Take one breath, in and out. No commentary, just the sensation. Go.
Okay, I did it.
Did you catch it?
I think so. I felt the air hit the back of my throat. It was cool, and for a split second, there wasn't anything else.
And how long before your mind jumped to the next thought? To wondering what to say next, or whether the silence on the recording was too long?
Almost instantly? Maybe half a second?
That is the edge. That is where the practice lives. It isn't about stopping the mind forever. It's about noticing the gap, that tiny space before the narrative kicks back in.
It's amazing how loud the noise is once you try to turn it off.
It is.
But you mentioned something earlier about not needing grandeur. I think a lot of us, when we look for spiritual meaning or just peace, we want the fireworks. We want the big moment where the clouds part.
We do. We want the burning bush. We don't want the burnt toast.
Right. But you're saying the burnt toast is where it's at.
There's another story, perhaps even more provocative than the rice bowl. A monk asks Master Yunmen, what is Buddha? He's basically asking, what is the ultimate truth?
And what does Master Yunmen say?
He replies, dried dung.
Dried dung, like literal poop.
Literally.
Whoa. Okay, that's pretty aggressive. He's calling the ultimate truth poop.
He is being incredibly rude to our pretensions. We want spirituality to be scented candles and soft music. But Yunmen is saying no.
Yeah.
If your spirituality doesn't work when you're changing a diaper, or when you're stuck in traffic behind a diesel truck breathing in fumes, or dealing with a difficult boss, then it isn't real.
So the dung is the stuff we constantly try to edit out of our lives.
Exactly. We live for the highlight reel. But life is mostly the B-roll. It's the commuting, the waiting, the cleaning up. Zen says the value isn't in the highlight. The value is in the dung.
Because it grounds us.
Because that's where the growth happens. Without the waste, without the decay, there is no fertilizer. Without the mess, there is no renewal.
That is actually really comforting because my life feels like 90% B-roll right now. I keep waiting for the real movie to start.
This is the movie. The traffic jam is the movie. The awkward silence is the movie. Imagine a woman standing at a window watching the rain. She's tired. Maybe she feels like she's failing at her job.
I can picture that.
She watches a raindrop slide down the glass, merging with another, blurring the view. In that moment, she stops fighting the blur. She stops demanding that the window be clear. And in that surrender, she finds a different kind of clarity. When you stop demanding clarity, clarity finds you.
When you stop demanding clarity, clarity finds you. It feels like we're circling back to this idea of loss. The leaf falling, the tea cooling, the rain blurring. We have such a fear of endings. Losing a job, losing a relationship, even just aging. It feels like a subtraction, like I'm becoming less.
It feels like subtraction because we are obsessed with accumulation. We collect titles, we collect assets, we collect memories. But think of a snowflake melting on your palm.
Okay.
While it is there, you admire the geometry. It's beautiful. But the moment it vanishes, what happens?
That's gone.
But what do you feel? You feel the cold, you feel the water, you feel the texture of your own skin more acutely. The melting didn't destroy the experience, it completed it. It revealed the temperature.
So only when something leaves can you truly see what it was holding?
Precisely. The end of a season isn't a deletion, it is a revelation. When the leaves fall, the structure of the tree is revealed. You see the architecture that was hidden by the green.
That makes sense for a tree, but what about for us?
When a role you played, employee, partner, parent of a young child, when that season ends, you are left with the silence. And in that silence, you could finally hear your own heartbeat.
That's the scary part, though, isn't it? The silence. Because if I'm not the busy worker or the needed parent, then who am I?
Yes.
If everything changes my body, my thoughts, my roles, what is actually left, that just feels like an identity crisis waiting to happen.
It is an identity crisis.
Yeah.
And it is the most important one you will ever have. This is the question, the ultimate question. If you are not your thoughts, and you are not your job, and you are not your body, what remains? Think of a river.
The classic metaphor.
It is classic for a reason. The river never holds on to a single drop of water. The water is constantly rushing away. And yet, The river is always full.
Because it's a channel.
Exactly. You are the river. You are not the water passing through. You are the capacity for the flow.
I like that a lot, being the capacity, not the content.
There is a story of an old gardener. Someone asked him how his orchard stayed so alive through droughts and storms. He didn't talk about soil pH or water schedules. He just said, "I don't grow the trees. I disappear so they can."
I disappear so they can. That sounds just like what we were saying about the leaf at the very beginning. It gets out of the way.
Presence is a kind of subtraction. It is not about adding more mindfulness to your to-do list. It is about subtracting the noise.
Subtracting the narrator.
Yes, the narrator who says, "This is bad, this is slow, this is unfair." When you subtract that voice, you become the ground.
Becoming the ground.
You are not losing your season. You are becoming the soil for the next one. And the soil doesn't mourn the leaf. It composts it. It uses it to feed what hasn't sprouted yet.
That reframes the whole concept of moving on. It's not about forgetting. It's about composting.
It is about integration. Allowing the past to feed the future by fully accepting that it is no longer the present. Zen Master Dogen wrote, "To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be actualized by the 10,000 things."
Actualized by the 10,000 things. That sounds incredibly poetic, but what does it actually mean for me when I wake up tomorrow morning?
It means letting the world live through you. It means when you drink coffee, just drink coffee. When you drive, just drive. You become a channel.
Like the branch that doesn't cling to the leaf.
You release. And this isn't resignation. It is radical belonging. You belong to the cycle. You aren't separate from it.
It's funny, we started this by talking about how alien the falling leaf felt to me, how
Yeah.
hard it is to let go like that. But listening to you now, it feels like we don't really have a choice.
Well, don't.
The leaf falls whether we approve of it or not. The tea cools whether we get angry or not. The kids grow up whether we're ready or not.
Yes. The wind rises. The season turns. Impermanence is not something you accept. It is something you fall in love with.
Fall in love with it. That's a tall order. Loving the fact that things end. Loving the fact that I'm gonna die one day.
Loving the fragility. Loving the fact that this conversation right now will never happen again. That the way the light is hitting your desk will never be exactly the same.
Because that gives it value.
Scarcity creates value. If this afternoon lasted forever, it would be meaningless. It is meaningful because it is vanishing.
It reminds me of that feeling when you're at the very end of a vacation or on the last page of a great book. You savor every single word because you know there aren't many left.
Exactly. So the invitation is to live your whole life with that quality of attention. To not wait for the end to pay attention. To treat the dried dung moments, the washing of the bowl, with the same reverence as the final page of the book.
It makes everything feel so spacious, like the pressure is suddenly off. I don't have to build a monument. I just have to be here while I'm here.
You don't have to last forever to matter. You only have to be fully here while you were here.
That feels like a relief. A really huge relief.
It is the threshold. That feeling you have right now, that quietness, that is the space after the wind has stilled. You aren't trying to figure it out anymore. You are just resting in the being of it.
So as we wrap up this duck dive, though, wrap up almost feels like the wrong phrase for this conversation. And like, what do we take with us when listening at home, take your headphones off, and the noise of the world rushes back in?
Don't rush to fill the silence. That is my advice. We usually end these things with a summary, a neat little takeaway. But today, I want to leave you with a question. A question to carry into your day like a kothon.
Lay it on us.
We have stripped away the leaves. We have washed the bowl. We have watched the season turn. So ask yourself, who are you when nothing remains to define you?
I don't answer it.
I was just about to try.
Don't let the question bloom like frost on glass. Delicate, temporary, and utterly true. Because the deepest wisdom isn't spoken. It is lived in that space between letting go and landing.
Between the branch and the earth.
Where you are neither tree nor soil.
Yeah.
Pure motion, pure presence, not fixed, not finished, free. And when you finally step into that freedom, you realize you have nothing left to defend.
You simply become the air through which everything passes. And in passing, becomes whole.
One leaf, one cup, one breath.
Fully, completely gone.